So, welcome to my talk, OWASP iGoat, a learning tool for iOS app Pentesting and security. My name is Swarup Eramalkar. This is Twitter handler for OWASP iGoat project. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. So all the views are my own, not of the employer. Okay, so bit about myself. We call this as shameless self-promotion slide in the conferences. So I work as senior security engineer at Philips. I'm OWASP iGoat project lead. Uh, I'm frequent speaker at the conferences. I've been spoken at many conferences, Hack in Taiwan, Bug Cloud Level Up, Ground Zero, and recently SecT at Sweden. Uh, I do bug bounties and top bug hunter at Cobalt and Synac. I'm acknowledged by Microsoft, Amazon, many other companies for reporting severe security issues in their mobile applications. You can catch me at Swarup SY. And yeah, I'm also author of this book, Learning iOS Penetration Testing. So today's agenda is we'll talk about the iOS security, what is OWASP iGoat project, how it can help the developers and the pen tester to solve your security issues in the iOS application, and how you can have the secure SDLC in the iOS development. And I will demonstrate how it will help both pen testers and developers, how is the architecture, how we can make use of that, and all about project details. So, okay, before starting this talk, how many of you work on the mobile security? May I see hands? Okay. And how many of you are mobile developers? Oh, only one? Okay, good. So, okay, I have something for both of the audience. It's for developers and pen testers. Okay, the first thing is why to care about the iOS security. If you see the evolution of application uses, now everything has come to your mobile. You watch the movies, you do bookings, and people hardly use the laptops or desktop applications to use the applications. If you see the statistics and numbers, the most of the social networking sites and other applications has more than 70% traffic is on their mobile applications. Your smartphone has everything. It has the financial application which handles your credit card information, like you book tickets and stuff like that. You have the e-wallets. You have the healthcare application, like even I book the doctor's appointment using the healthcare, like medical application. I discuss about my disease to doctor, we chat with them, and we have the healthcare application. And we have these social networking applications where we have the private photos, personal messages. We have the gaming application. So your smartphone is everything, right from your gaming, healthcare, and financial. It has so many information. And if someone get access to these this sensitive information, yeah. And if you see the IoT Internet of Things, the entry point is the mobile applications. We have everything smart, from light bulbs to your toilets, smart TVs, washing machine. So everything is getting smart, and we operate is from the mobile application. It could be iOS or Android application. But when you look at the enterprise, how they work on the mobile security, the most of the focus is toward the backend, because most of the applications are hybrid applications, where more than 70% is your backend web APIs and 30% is your native code. And the focus is again same, is more on this backend, because we have several tools, including free and commercial tools, which we can use for the assessing backend. But we're comparing for the front end, we have the very less commercial or freeware tools. Okay, so that's the thing. There are many major vulnerability or major hacks happened. How many of you use the WhatsApp? Like, I see, yeah. In European and Indian, it's one of the most popular messenger. When it was early released, so this finding is by the Andreas, and so when you register for the WhatsApp, you enter your number to say, okay, I own this number, and one OTP is sent to your mobile number, and then it identifies, okay, you are the owner of this mobile number. So after intercepting this request, the authentication, your OTP was being sent to the server. So let's say I will take your number, I will register that, and I will just intercept that, and I will get your OTP, I will register it, and I can use your number for messaging anyone. And yeah, like that, I can own anyone's, using this vulnerability, you can own anyone's WhatsApp account. So, in problems in pen testing is, I see comparing to the Android, there are so many challenges for the iOS security, like building secure iOS products. The lack of resources for iOS pen testing, iOS keep changing with each version, there are file systems, internal file structure, the lack of required hardware. Like unlike Android, you cannot run iOS application on Windows platform. You must have the MacBook or the simulator or at least iDevice. Focus in development focus is more on the introducing the features. And the problem I saw with the developers is whenever I report the vulnerability, they start looking on the Stack Overflows and many other places where they didn't find the exact solution, which is like secure code. And it's very difficult for developers because they need to learn lots of technology and they need to keep enhancing the product, and it's very difficult to keep the track of the latest attacks or what is happening in the security world. And if you see the risk to your mobile data nowadays, if you see the surveys, there are many cases where your like most of the cases are smartphone robbery. Like they steal your smartphone because it has everything. Rather than stealing your wallet, they prefer stealing mobile because it has lot more information. And at the same time, if you see the jailbreaks, there are jailbreaks available almost till 10.2 and other jailbreaks and progress. So almost for each iOS version, the jailbreak get released. So jailbreak is like rooting and owning your iPhone. This was vulnerability in iPhone, especially iPhone 7 and 7 Plus for iOS 10.3 and 11 beta, where in data recovery you can try any attempts for the PIN. So the hardware is designed to actually brute force your PIN. So using this hardware, you can actually brute force for the PIN on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. So if I get your phone, I even don't need to know your PIN. I can use this hardware, crack the PIN, I can root the device, and yeah, after that, if developer has not taken the security measures, I can probably get your all the sensitive information. Okay, here we go. What is OWASP iGoat? How we are helping on the iOS security, and what is this project about? So OWASP iGoat is a learning tool for iOS developers and mobile app pen testers. It was inspired by the WebGoat. You might have heard about the WebGoat. So it's similar conceptual flow to that. So it has lessons laid out in the following steps. It's like brief introduction to the problem, verifying problem by exploiting it, brief discussion of available remediation, fixing problem by correcting and rebuilding the code, because this project has both attack and how to fix the issues. It's a free and open source. You can bookmark this GitHub link which has the project code. Currently it has 25 to 30 vulnerabilities. It is basically client server architecture, and the best thing is we have contributors from all over the world. We make sure that this is more developers driven, like whatever they find or any new attack or any security issues or the base solutions, we add it to this project. So we have all the tons of challenges. Broken crypto, key management, these are the major problems what enterprises are looking at, like how to manage the encryption keys, reverse engineering, data protection risk, data protection transit, the injection attacks. We have the cloud misconfiguration attacks, the backend attacks, and I will demonstrating the few of the attacks in today's talk. iGoat approach is very simple. It's very straightforward, I would say. It's understanding the concept, identifying the vulnerability, exploit that, and most important, it will teach you how to defend that, how to fix that particular attack. I will just show you one video on how it works. Okay, so this is iGoat. Let's say any vulnerability, we have the tons of different storage format. So first is, let's say if you want to learn the attack, you will do storage insecure way. So this will first, you will exploit it, you will look for the local data storage of the application, and you will notice that the credentials are stored in plain text. So if you see that data is stored, like username and password is stored in plain text. Okay, so you learn like, okay, how to do this. Now the next thing is how to protect from that for, let's say, storage issues. So we have this solution right in the code. It's in like commented format. So developers can just read out this code, can uncomment the secure methods and rebuild the project. It's as simple as it is. So you can see that by default all the secure methods are commented, and you can just uncomment that and you can just rebuild the code, and you will see that the issue is already fixed. So now if you just look at the application and use the same lesson, you will see that data is stored in keychain. Yes. So we have also developed, if developer wants to look at what is stored inside keychain, we have developed this cool feature, iGoat Keychain Analyzer, where you can actually analyze the contents of keychain stored by that particular application. That is, in case of iGoat, what is the username and password. So this is overall approach like how iGoat works. The best thing about iGoat is it runs on all the iDevices, simulator, iPhone, iPad. Yeah. So we don't have any restrictions on particular device. This is iGoat architecture. We have one server in Ruby, written in Ruby, and one server is hosted on the cloud. This vulnerabilities are very structured format. If you are newbie, if a developer wants to contribute, they can easily go ahead and add the exercise to the existing project. So I'll be showing the couple of demos, the cool challenges we have developed in the project. The first is runtime analysis, where you are changing the application behavior at the runtime, or you are modifying the code on the fly. So this challenge is runtime, where it says if you want to see the bank statement, enter the 4-digit PIN. And if you want to do that, the first thing is we can just use a script. So script is debugger for your it can be used as debugger for the iOS application. So first thing, I found the process ID of iGoat, and I am hooking the script to that particular process ID. And then you can just have a do while loop where you will check for the pin, and at the end it will show you the pin. So it is pin string. I'm defining a variable and setting the value as a 0 by default. So it will look for 0002 9999. Yeah, syntax error. And if you go ahead, yeah. So once it found match, you can say true. And now if you print the value of the print string, it will have the exact pin. If you enter the same, you will be able to log in. Yeah, here we go. So many of the when we discuss with developers that you should not store the sensitive information locally, they say okay. So how we can store the information? We say them, okay, you encrypt the data and you can store the sensitive information in encrypted format. So then the next question is, okay, we'll store in encrypted format, but where to store the key? Okay, that's a big challenge. So we cannot give the one solution that, okay, only use this solution for you, because what we faced, like there are different businesses, they have the different requirements. So you cannot say that use this solution and it will solve your problem. So what we did is we came across different solutions and we are integrating into that. So you can just go through different solutions and you can select whichever your business want. Because if you are, especially if you are using the medical applications, and if you go into rural environment where you may not have internet, and you are storing the encryption key at the server side, you will not have access to the data. So there is no any one solution to go, but yeah, we have the different solutions for the key management. So I will show one by one demo, like how this key management stuff work. Okay, so, so okay, so the one of these what I observe is many developers make mistakes to hard code the key. You can just easily reverse engineer the application and get the key, and you can just decrypt the data. So I will just demonstrate how to do this. So there are like the disassembler like Hopper, which you can use to dump the strings from the application. So I will just move to that. So Hopper is disassembler. I'm just loading the iGoat binary into that, and if you see, there are the strings columns where you will have all the hard-coded values. And the interesting thing about the iGoat, it's like CTF, like you just don't have the, you submit the values and you will look into local storage. It's not like that. You have to find these values, you have to make sure, verify on the application. So if you see the secret strings, you will get the answer here, and you can just enter into the application, verify that, okay, it's correct. Has anyone worked with the Hopper or disassemblers? No one? Okay. So, yeah, you should try this out. If you're working on iOS stuff, you should try this Hopper disassembler. I found it really useful. Yeah, to prove it wasn't chicken. Okay. So next is server-side key storage. We have hosted on cloud, and we have, so for encryption challenge, we call the key from the server, and every time the data needs, whenever the data needs to be encrypted, we call the key from the server and we do the encrypt. So this one is a third challenge. So as soon as we load the challenge, you will see some encrypted stuff here. So this is nothing but encrypted with the key which is called from the server. So as soon as if you intercept the request, you will see that the application is requesting for key. And if you intercept the response as well, you will see that the encryption key is in the response. So I'm just sending this request, and you can see that this is the key, which you can just verify on the application. Yeah. So if you just enter, and you can just verify that. Yes. Success. And similarly, you can have the like a random key, like where you can use your hardware unique ID as encryption key. The benefit of using this is even if I get your key, it would be unique for your device. So I cannot use the same key for decryption on all other devices. So we have challenge for that as well. So developer can learn more about the key solution, like which one to select. So I have used the UDID class provided by Apple to generate this key. So you can check out the code later. You can just download the code from GitHub and look into that. So so for the challenge, we have kept the key. I have enabled the key in the NS log, so you can just grab the key from there and verify that in the application. Yeah. So the benefit of this is the key will be different. Encryption key will be different for each of the users. The next thing is URL scheme attack, where you can just send the URL. Nowadays, many applications has the facility to call or message or some sensitive action. And if there is no validation, you can just send the URL to victim, and the attack will happen. So URL scheme is a unique URLs provided to the application. So if I just enter the URL here, or if I send this URL to you, it will ask you to open in the application, and that particular action will happen if there is no validation. So I have seen similar attacks in many applications. So this is the URL scheme looks like. For iGoat, it's like iGoat:// and it's saying number and message, and as soon as you hit it, the application will be invoked. You might have seen if you are let's say accessing YouTube video in Safari, it will ask you to open in YouTube application, right? Because it has a URL scheme. So similarly, every application has URL scheme. Cloud misconfiguration. So we have very cool challenge. It's a cloud misconfiguration. When you open this challenge, there is a one catty face like this, and that is a hint. So to solve this challenge, all you have to do is intercepting traffic. So if you see that there is a, if you see that request is for the S3 bucket, and I can just send the request to repeater and check that what are the all contents. So you can see that you will get the error messages, but at the same time it's giving all the files inside the bucket because the bucket is misconfigured. Okay, so this is the proxy thing, and I will just make it forward. Yeah, so if you open this URL in the browser, you will see that there is a message and it has all the files. You can see that the catty and whatever the images. So because this S3 bucket is misconfigured for the public access, and if you just enter the file name in the URL, you will get like this. So I have observed that many applications has backend weak, because compared to the web application, the backend of the mobile applications are a bit neglected, and this could be the different sensitive information of the user. We have also a good crypto attacks. Okay, I think I missed to place the video. Okay, so next is we have the injection attacks like SQL injection, cross-site scripting. So yeah, I have one demo for this. So idea behind this is the developers learn end-to-end attacks, and at the same time they learn how to defend in depth. So it's a simple search box where you can just enter the keywords and look for the items, and all the time they will give you the two articles, but if you just inject the SQL injection payload, the attack will happen. So if you just inject this payload, so the XSS attacks are again possible in case of the iOS applications, both in your locally SQL database and in the backend as well. Yeah, so I guess that's all pretty much of the project. We are working on some cool stuff like code obfuscation, then the third-party library issues, and we'll probably have the more updates. I would suggest to follow us on Twitter and follow on this project on GitHub. We are working on so many exciting things, and I will soon update this project. You can also contribute this if you're a developer or security person. You can add the challenges or you can raise the issues on GitHub. These are the references. So I would like to tell that though I'm the front face for this project, it's a big community, and we have the developers and security people from all over the world who are contributing for this project. These are the credits, and I guess that's all for this today's talk. So if you have questions, I can probably take that.
Any questions?
One of the challenges I find when I'm going to test an iOS application is having a device that I can jailbreak, a physical device. So what do? You don't have access to a jailbreak because you have a version that is new and you cannot go back. Any other simulator online that you can use or something?
So you means because the iOS is upgraded, you cannot do jailbreak, right?
Having a jailbreak for
If the iOS is upgraded, so better in that case, if the SSH blobs are not taken, we cannot downgrade. So we have to wait till the new jailbreak comes. And I would like to tell that there are many remote jailbreaks as well for the iOS 9. So you can just send the URL and user can click on that and it may start rooting. But yeah, if we have the device which is like latest version and there is no jailbreak, the one thing is we just have to wait. But I see the jailbreaks release are really fast nowadays. Like its community is like all these are like dedicated people working for the jailbreak things. Any more questions?
More questions? Okay, then a big thank you to Smoke,
Yeah,
not only
thanks.
for his talk,
Thanks,
also
Aaron.
for his work.